How did you use media technologies in the stages of construction, research, planning, and evaluation? Exploring how we use media technologies in the construction, research, planning, and evaluation, we are firstly going to speak about media technology. When exploring on how we use media technologies in the construction, research, planning, and evaluation, we are firstly going to talk about the media technology itself. From the beginning of our research, we firstly found several inspirations of horror trailers on the software such as YouTube and Google to gather all the information we needed to inspire our film trailer, poster, and magazine. YouTube has enabled us to view official trailers of films. From analyzing these texts, we were able to break down conventions of each trailer, writing all the inspirations that we could also include in our trailer. For example, we had several ideas about our magazines and therefore had an initial and final product. Research has been vital from the very first day from filming and even after. We have been able to constantly question whether we can better our film trailer through comparisons of research and the trailers of different trailers. The research we have all conducted has enabled us to add our own original approach into making SCAD when making the film poster and magazine covers. We researched and looked over hundreds of examples and connected these to our own film. Not only did research link to planning, but analyzing past A-level students like Kaylee's, which was Hazard, we were able to gather ideas which we believed we could also use and improve, yet keeping in mind had to be original and meet our brief. Research and planning was also key when discussing which institution to choose, and we therefore had to research several horrors, psychological thrillers such as Sinister to get an idea of our distribution company we wanted to use. We then decided to go with Summit Entertainment as it not only fit with our ideology of horror, but we believed our film trailer could be compared to Sinister and such films. This year in A2, we have been able to develop our skills using software such as Final Cut Pro when editing our film trailer. Although our group have been at an advantage as well as we have used Final Cut Pro before in AS, however, some of us were more experienced than others. Using different tools such as the Blade tool, we gained a greater knowledge of Final Cut Pro, making both ancillary text look professional. You can see Final Cut Pro was vital in creating our film trailer, as we had to make sure everything ran smoothly, yet had to keep in mind that it was a trailer and therefore needed quick pace cuts and jump cuts in order to create this fast pace. We believed that it was essential in order to create this shock and increasing intense factor. We also paid close attention to the smaller details such as the shadows and highlights, where the color board tool allowed us to create this gloomy dark effect throughout our trailer. As you can see, we've highlighted Natasha, our main protagonist's face, in several cuts as we wanted this close-up of her to really stand out, highlighting the significance of her makeup, questioning whether she is a usual damsel in distress. Using the professional SLR camera to capture the footage and the tripod helped us significantly during the filming process, as we not only captured several high-angle shots, but we also concentrated on the close-up shots of her emotion, and with the tripod we were able to have a steady, stabilized zoom of our protagonist's expression, and therefore not only enable creativity in our camera, but also link the precision. As in high-angle shot of Natasha screaming in the dark, it not only highlighted her vulnerability, but with the tripod we were able to capture a precise angle where we could also steadily zoom. In addition, it also added an element of professionalism, especially when shooting the setting and establishing shots. Throughout the editing process on Final Cut Pro, we could also blade and choose what specific transitions would look great in our trailer in meeting the genre of the horror. After much deliberating, we went with less fades and just simple quick cuts. But if you see in our trailer of the portraits, we purposely laid out both images yet touched on the opacity, letting us emerge both images together. With this being said, we also added a flash to make this effective. From this, tension and suspense can be added. When constructing our magazine cover for our film, we used Adobe Photoshop. Although this program was new to us, we spent a lot of time getting used to the tools and exploring tools such as the blur and the paint. To widen our understanding of Photoshop, we analyzed different YouTube tutorials of how to use Photoshop and slowly picked it up. On both our poster and magazine, we've used the blur and smudge tool, but it is more evident in our poster where we not only use Photoshop for the protagonist's eye, but we also sharpened it so it would stand out, especially in the forefront of our poster. We also used a smudge tool when darkening our hair, also adding the low-level brightening of this particular image. As you can see, we took inspirations from other horror, The Grudge, where you could also link this back to Hidden Identity. Using media technology was evident throughout all these stages, yet when it became to evaluating, we not only went through the past test shots, but also revisited programs such as Final Cut Pro, Photoshop, Internet Explorer, and many more. We wanted our evaluation to be unique, so we not only filmed in a green room, but we also did voiceovers for particular questions. For question 2 in particular, we used Final Cut Pro and used an audio recorder, which the Mac has an inbuilt microphone. To make our background black, by using the crop tool, we also enlarged and cropped any unnecessary elements. We used the typewriting tool to write each question and place different images in the box as we spoke along, showing a sense of creativity. When it came to our evaluation, we also used Safari instead of Firefox. It was running extremely slow. Overall, we used many media technologies such as Photoshop, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome when it came to constructing our research, planning and evaluation, and believed this was a successful project as we've learned several new skills like exploring Photoshop and using tools such as the smudge.